Hi. I realize that I am super late to the party, but I'm watching a movie that is really bad, and I have a lot of feelings about it. It's awful. It's bad. It's just really bad. I want to make a really big point and say that I haven't even seen the source material. I haven't even read the manga. I have not watched the anime or anything like that. This is the first this is the first encounter I have with this franchise. And this movie is just so awful. Why? Ugh. The demon should be more in the movie, that's for one. Like, the demon's kind of the only cool thing about this film. The main character is just a whiny teenage boy, and the thing that pisses me off the most is his girlfriend. Let's just take a moment and just talk about how terrible the girlfriend character is in this thing. He shows her the notebook, and he tells her what it's for, and she's like, oh, okay, I believe you, that's cool, let's just do this now, let's just kill a whole bunch of people. Like, no, like, what? No! I still have 30 minutes of this film to watch, and I am so mad right now. Like, I don't even want to finish it, but because I'm a glutton for punishment, I'm just gonna finish it, because I can't turn away. I just gotta do it. Also, another thing that really, bothered me was in the very, very beginning of the film, how he found the notebook. It was just so anticlimactic. Like, I had to rewind the movie to make sure I didn't miss anything important. Like, when it came to him finding the notebook, it was just in his backpack, and he's like, oh, okay, you're not gonna, make it, no, we're not gonna see the demon drop it into his backpack, no, we're not gonna do that, really? He just opened his backpack and was like, oh, okay, this is a thing, okay, cool, whatever. Like, no, what? That's, the main plot point of this film. You're not even gonna, make that an even cooler entrance or something? Enter the movie. Also, again, the main character is just some whiny teenage boy. He doesn't really have much depth to him. I mean, in the beginning when he killed that guy who killed his mom, I'm like, oh, okay. But okay, the thing that bothers me is, the way he decided to kill the guy who killed his mom was really, really dumb. I'm sorry, if someone killed my mother and I had the power to, kill them and I lived in Death Note, I would have done, a much more brutal death. I would have, had the guy die torturously if someone killed my mom or something like that. The guy got impaled by a steak knife. That's really lame. But again, the weirdest part in the film was when, the guy and his girlfriend were, the main character and his girlfriend were, finding new people to kill, and they were, having sex the entire time. So they were basically fucking as they were, I guess it was just, it just got them off or something, and that part just really, really confused me. Oh, they're having sex while they're, finding people to kill. So the one moment that actually had depth in this film, and I was like, yes, that's actually kind of a good point. I'm pretty sure this is what the anime was about, was there was a website with a whole bunch of names of people who supposedly did bad things. And so the girlfriend's like, oh, hey, we should kill this guy because here on this website, it says that he burned a house and killed 3 people. And so then the main character was like, I'm not sure that's a good idea because how do you know what is written here is true? And at that point, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the anime was about, trying to figure out, do people who are considered bad actually bad? And then the girlfriend gets super mad at him, and then she runs away or something. It was just dumb. And then they had a fight, and she said, no, but I love you. And then he kisses her, and then everything's okay again. I'm sorry, I didn't know I was watching a romantic comedy. This movie is just terrible. So this movie is bad, but I'm still gonna finish it because I hate myself. But if anyone else has feelings about this movie and wants to tell me about it, please let me know, because this is just really bad. And again, I've never seen the anime, never, read the manga or anything like that. This is my first introduction to the franchise. I actually went to Wikipedia and I read stuff about this franchise. And this franchise looks actually pretty good. The story, the plot looks amazing, but this is just this movie is just bad. Also, the character of L is just really like interesting to me because he just eats candy all the time, and he to me he's just not even a person. He just kind of pops up like, and sometimes like he like you can see him sitting down, and the way he sits down kind of reminds me of a monkey. I don't understand why they did that. Like So anyone who has seen like the actual anime or manga, read it, please just let me know what I should do. Like, tell me your thoughts about this. Thank you. Okay, bye. Other things that really, really bother me. Okay, so like, if the FBI is like watching the main character this entire time, why did they not also follow his girlfriend? Because she was around him a lot. And honestly, if I was like an FBI person, I would be like, oh, okay, so like obviously these two are in a romantic relationship. Let's see if they're doing crime together. Also, you can tell that this film really, really wanted you to know that there's going to be a winter formal thing happening, because like in every shot of the high school, there was like a banner or something for the winter formal. So I'm pretty sure the winter formal is very important. So I still have 10 minutes of this film, but I'm still mad because a couple things just happened that I really wanted to talk about. So for some reason, the girlfriend has a smart-ass idea to like put his like the main character's name in the book, and she like got drunk with power and now wants to be the keeper of the death book. And so she writes his name in the notebook and is like, okay, now go get me the book so I don't end up killing you and so you can still live. And so they end up having like a gigantic like battle scene, and now all of a sudden they're on top of a Ferris wheel. And so they have they're on the top of the Ferris wheel and they have an argument, and he's like, and the main character is like, do you see what the Death Note is doing to us? Like, it's tearing us apart. You're tearing me apart, Lisa! Actually, the correct phrase would be, you're tearing me apart, Death Note. Tearing us apart, Death Note. So the main character guy was like, we can run away together and not have Death Note anymore because the Death Note is just tearing us apart and all of this stuff. And like, if you truly love me, girlfriend, then you're not going to take the book and we'll run away. Don't take the book, we'll run away and be happy and we'll pretend this never happened. Because yeah, like just killing a whole bunch of people, yeah, you can easily forget that. And then the girlfriend, oh my god, the stupid girlfriend was like, I love you. That's all she said. She said, I love you, in like the cheesiest teenage comedy way. And the whole time I'm thinking, I'm sorry, like, who is this for? Is this for teenage kids, or is this for the people who actually like Death Note? Like, it turned way into like teenage romantic comedy. I'm sitting there thinking, who is this movie for? As the girlfriend says in the sweetest way, she says in the sweetest way, I love you. And I'm just sitting there like, no, I'm done. So she steals the notebook because, like, the main character, he wrote that she was gonna die. And it's just kind of a big fucking mess. I don't really understand why he wrote that she should die, but I'm glad that he did because she was really annoying as a character. So anyways, there is like a huge explosion that happens, and like as the two characters are falling to their death, guess what happens? An 80s love ballad starts playing in the background as they are falling to their death and shit blows up. Like, I'm sorry, like, no! Like, that song really ruined the scene. I don't know what song would have been better for that scene, but they honestly should have picked another song, and I'm actually pretty mad about that. And then another thing that bothers me is, like, so the main character, he ends up in a coma, and so, like, some random drifter guy finds the notebook and gives it back to the main character as he's in a coma. He wakes up from his coma, finds that the Death Note is on top of him, and to me, as a nurse, that actually really bothers me. Because, like, you're in a hospital, the nurses around you should be monitoring you, and when you wake up, they're supposed to be there. Well, or at least, like, somewhere in the vicinity. Like, they would know when you woke up. And within the same scene, there's a knock at the door. The main character is like, come in, and then his dad walks in. I'm sorry, Mr. Dad. How did you know that your kid had just woken up from a coma? Like, you didn't know that he was out of his coma. And then, like, why did you even knock on the door? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm very mad. Okay, so I just finished the movie, and I'm just very conflicted over the ending. So, like, in the final scene of the movie, the main character is telling his dad pretty much what was going on. His dad figured it out. His dad figured out that the main guy was somehow killing everyone. And so the kid is like, okay, let me tell you what happened. So the kid goes into his elaborate scheme to tell, like, how he end up killing a whole bunch of other people and how he ended up alive. And the thing that really, really bothers me is, like, him killing off his girlfriend. I'm not mad that he killed his girlfriend. I was actually happy. I did not like her as a character. But the thing that bothered me was, like, he was surprised that she took the notebook from him, even though he was the one who wrote that she would take it. So in the notebook, he wrote down, my girlfriend's gonna take this thing from me. And then when she took it from him, he was very surprised. I'm like, dude, you know how this works. Like, why are you surprised right now? So, like, the movie ends off with Elle trying, like, he found a page of the Death Note, and he's, like, wondering, like, he's about to write someone's name in the book, but then he decides not to, and I'm like, good job, Elle, like, good for you, good for you. But I am wondering right now if Elle was a black man in the original manga, whatever, and the original anime. I am actually, like, was Elle black? Was Elle even a teenager? Like, how old was Elle? I want to know things about Elle. But the thing that bothered me so much about the ending is the music choice. Like, the song that they picked just did not fit, and I was sitting there actually, like, pretty mad. Like, as all of this shit is going down, the main character is telling his dad all about all the terrible things that happen. Elle is like having this crisis trying to figure out whether or not he wants to kill off the main character. The song, The Power of Love, is playing in the background? What is that? Like, no! You don't do that! Like, music is supposed to set the tone of a movie. And again, I got romance, like 80s romance ballad vibes. Like, I'm so perplexed as to the song choice of this movie. Like, why are you playing The Power of Love? The whole time as that song was playing, all I could think about was my mom. Because she's really Filipina, and so, like, there were multiple times where she would sing karaoke to The Power of Love. So this movie was just a shit show. Like, really? The Power of Love? Really? Well, they had, like, a lot of weird 80s ballad music, like 80s ballads in here. I was very confused. So I just looked at the soundtrack list, and there are 3 songs that I was like, yeah, those are the songs I was thinking of that are, like, 80s ballads I really felt did not fit into this movie. The first one being Take My Breath Away by Berlin, that played at their winter formal, which, like, hey, it's a great song, and it kind of fits. It just didn't fit. It just didn't fit because they're teenagers. How are they going to know that song? Why would Take My Breath Away be playing at a high school dance in 2017? Like, that just did not make any sense to me at all. And, like, oh gosh, it was just bad. I mean, Take My Breath Away, like, would make sense if this was, like, a teen romance movie. And, like, that's what this film did. Like, I didn't know if it was a cheesy, like, really, really bad romance movie or, like, an anime-based movie. Again, who was this film for? Like, the soundtrack really made me wonder that. Okay, and so the other problem that I have is, like, with songs is they use I Don't Want to Live Without Your Love by Chicago during the Ferris wheel scene where shit was blowing up and the characters were dying, like, falling to their death. But seriously, what the hell is that? You have, like, you know, these 2 people are, like, pretty much dying, like, falling from the death. It's a very climactic scene, and you're having I Can't Live Without Your Love, or Don't Want to Live Without Your Love by Chicago? And at the very end, when they played Power of Love by Air Supply. I was very confused, like, why that song? Like, if his girlfriend was alive and, like, there, like, yeah, I would understand that song. I would have understood that song choice if, like, the girlfriend was alive and was like, oh, I love you so much, blah, blah, blah. Like, I would understand that if that song was playing. But again, like, what teenager in 2017 listens to 80 ballads? I mean, like, when I was a teenager, I pretended to like 80s music because I wanted to be cool. Like, that's another story. But still, like, it just didn't make any sense. Like, having that song at the end and switching between the main character and Elle, the whole time I was like, wait, is there like some homo romance going on? Like, are Elle and the main character, whose name is Light, are Elle and Light like in love or something? Like, secretly? Is this like a homosexual romance? I kept on referring to Light as the main character, but his name is Light. But yes, this movie was terrible, and I ranted about it, and I'm really proud of my rant, and I'm not sure if anyone's watching this, so if you are watching, thank you. So those are my thoughts on the film Death Note, a Netflix original film, and I really did not like it, but I would definitely watch this again, really drunk, with my friends. I mean, this movie isn't as bad as, like, The Room. It's not like The Room, but it's still terrible in its own right, and I think it should be ridiculed. Oh yeah, another thing that happened at the very, very end was, like, the demon came up and was like, ha ha ha, you humans are so silly. I wanted the demon to be more in the film. I feel like he should have been in the film more. I liked him. So I kind of think that is the end of my rant. Teenagers nowadays don't listen to 80s ballads, no matter how hard they try to be cool and pretend that they do and try to be hipster. They just don't. Also, I will never understand the stupid girlfriend. I still really, really hate her. I do. She, like, really annoyed me the entire film. And if you have made it this far, message me and I will give you $5 to Starbucks or something. So the first person who messages me and tells me, oh, I watched the entire thing, I'll give you $5.